Hi, I'm Gary Dodds, and I'm running for the United States Congress in the 1st Congressional District. Before I start, I would like to thank all the voters for viewing this tape. It's important to me that you know where I stand on the issues and know a little bit about me and where I intend to take this country in the right direction. First, I'd like to talk about who I am. I've been in New Hampshire for over 30 years. I'm a product of public education, and I'm proud of it. I also have a master's in public administration from the University of New Hampshire. I am married to a lovely wife for 15 years, and her name is Cindy. I also have two wonderful children, Alyssa and Lauren. One will be starting high school next year, and Lauren will be going into the 4th grade. My wife and I are two small business owners, and we have a deep commitment to our community. Speaking of community, I have dedicated over 20 years to public service to improving my community, not only for me, but for the people who live in it. I have served on many local boards, the planning board, the budget committee, and the school board. I'm also a call fireman and an EMT. I have served as a person who is in Rotary, and also I've had the pleasure to go down to 9/11, 2 months after that dreadful day. What I learned from that experience, I want to bring to Washington. It's a sense of community. We went down there to help people who were devastated, lost everything, or they just needed their places picked up and cleaned up. I'm running for the United States Congress because I believe that there are people who have been forgotten, the middle class, the working poor, and even the people who are doing well. We need a representative in Congress who's going to represent them, their interests, not the special interests. Let me talk a little bit about the issues that I feel that are most important. The war in Iraq. Unfortunately, we can't spend $250 million a day trying to fix a country. We could do better if we spent that money in our own country. Second of all, 2,500 soldiers, men and women, will not be going home to their families. That's why we need to get out of the war in Iraq as soon as possible. I have signed on early on that we could, and I still support, the withdrawal of our troops by 2006. We move to the periphery, and then we starve the insurgents and allow the Iraqi government and their soldiers to take over policing their own country. This way we don't become an occupier. Next of all, we need to look at our educational system. I'm a firm believer that we need a report card that follows the student, goes from grade level to grade level. I would repeal the No Child Left Behind. It's underfunded, and it certainly wasn't thought out very well. Public education is not something for the federal government to get mixed up in. The federal government, unfortunately, could set standards, but they shouldn't be setting mandates, and that's what they're doing today. Let the teachers teach. They're the ones who know best in the classroom. We certainly don't want to be teaching to the test. Third thing we need to look at is our healthcare system. Unfortunately, we have 47 million Americans without health care insurance. We have 16 million that are underinsured, and we have 9 million of those that are children. We can do better. We need a system where everyone has affordable and access to health care, and I know we can do it if we work together. What I'd like to also see is to get a hold of our spending habits. In Washington today, our current representative has not balanced a budget in 4 years. He's 4 for 4. Every year, he has not balanced the budget. What we need to do is we need to go back to the pay-as-you-go rules, reinstate those, remove all of the earmarks that are $42 billion worth of special projects that we just don't need. We also need to look at balancing the budget as a means of making sure that we're setting national priorities that meet the needs of the people. We also need to look at the no-bid contracts for contractors. We have to eliminate those. Ethics reform, that's another area that we need to look at. And finally, we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make sure that everyone has the same God-given possibilities, and we need to utilize everyone's talents to move everyone forward. Now, I was born in a family of a single parent, and I'm not ashamed to say that we were on government programs: fuel assistance, low-income housing, food stamps, and many others. I call those a helping hand when people need it, and I'm thankful for that. And because of that, I've been given the opportunity to run for Congress. You know, a sense of community is a wonderful thing if everybody is in it together. That's what I want to restore in Congress. I want to run as your congressman, as someone who's going to work hard and work for the people. Make sure that they have the necessities to move forward and to be successful in their lives, not only for themselves, but for their children and their grandchildren. I know we can do better, and on September 12th, I would ask you for your support.